Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and no, we are not back out in my garage tonight. We're actually in a hotel room in Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, I had to drive up here today because I'm playing trombone, and yes, I am a musician, a professional musician, playing with the Texas Bluesmen, a Blues Brothers tribute band. And so I'm up here in the hotel room. I have to go downstairs to play at this corporate convention in about an hour. So I'm up here warming up. And I decided to make a Texas Gun Vault 2 video. So maybe to give us a little bit more ambiance, I do have my Glock 26 that I brought with me. And yes, it is unloaded. And no, I am not going to show it on camera, but right now, the gun is safe and clear for all of you safety Sallies. Which, by the way, it's kind of funny. On my P320 videos that I've done recently, I had a number of safety Sallies going, "You swept the camera! That's terrible discipline! How dare you!" There's nobody behind the camera. And so I'm not breaking any rules of gun safety. So if I do this, guess what? Nobody's behind the camera. And I'm not worried about shooting my camera. I can always replace it, but I already know the gun is empty. I don't have to show you on camera. So why don't we go ahead and put that in the background and give us a little bit of ambiance. So there you go. So we do get a little bit of firearms in the background, and it is a little bit cloudy. It was storming earlier. But today's video, I wanted to talk about maturity in the gun world. Now, I have to say that overwhelmingly, when it comes to my videos in general, and more specifically with the P320 videos I made in the past couple of days, the comments have been overwhelmingly positive. We've had some great discussions, some great dialogues. I've had a lot of people share their experiences about what they're discovering with their own guns. Some people are saying they can replicate the issues where the striker falls by just manipulating the slides. Some people say they can do it without pulling the trigger. Some people say they have to pull the trigger back a little bit. Some people have put in a little wood screw like the Wyoming Gun Project did. And we're all just trying to figure this stuff out. But of course, there's always going to be people that are immature, people that just can't seem to have a dialogue with anybody that maybe they disagree with. And this is something that I have felt has been lacking in the gun world for a very long time. And I'm not really sure why people get so emotionally invested in one side of an argument or another, because I just like to learn. And if you love the P320 and you think every issue with the P320 is user error, I could still be your friend. I sure can. And if you're somebody that thinks the P320 is the worst gun ever and just having it on the table, it can go off at any time, it can sprout legs, and it's all SIG's fault, I can be your friend too, and we can have a discussion. And just because we disagree doesn't mean I have to think the worst of you. So for example, it's funny, on the same videos, I get some people calling me a SIG shill, and literally 2 comments later saying I'm a SIG hater and I can't see the truth. But it's the same video. How do you get that? It tells me that they have preconceived notions about me. They take one thing away from the video, and the first thing they do is insinuate the worst in other people. I know the Wyoming Gun Project, or Matt was telling me, people were claiming he was doing it in front of or doing his video and test in front of a green screen. Why would he do that? Why would I do any of that? You know, some people have asked me, are you getting paid by SIG? Do you really think SIG would pay me to talk badly about their guns? And then other people have asked, are you being paid by Bloomberg's anti-gun group? Have you guys seen my content and my channel? I don't understand how people can come away from the same video and take 2 completely different things away from it. I have no idea. But regardless of what you feel and what you believe, why do you have to think the worst in me? And I'm never going to think the worst in you. If you completely disagree with me, it doesn't have to be even on the P320. It could be on the things in the past we've talked about. Matt Hoover or the pistol brace amnesty stuff, or anything else in the gun world, like is 9 better than 40, or is 45 the best, or 357 SIG, or do Glocks suck, or are they amazing, or whatever it is. You know, we always have these things in the gun world that we as gun owners like to debate. You're in this camp or the other. If you're a 1911 guy, I can be your friend. If you're a Glock guy, I can be your friend. If you only like really cheap, affordable guns, and you're part of the just as good crowd, I can be your friend too. If all you care about is the high-end boutique stuff, I can be your friend. You know why? Because we all love guns and the Second Amendment, and we're all working together. And whether or not you think the SIG is good or the SIG is bad, we're all here to get the best information, to share our experiences. The other thing that, it's kind of funny, and I know that we're all guilty of it, but anytime anything happens, and it doesn't even have to be about firearms, it can be about politics, and it reminds me of the time that my channel got a lot of views because I have a B&T VP9. Now, of course, that was the gun that everybody was saying that Luigi Mangione, the guy that shot that CEO of the healthcare company, everyone thought, that's the gun, it's definitely happening, blah, blah, blah. It's amazing that I have one of the 500 that are in the country, but everyone else online is an expert on them. Just like when it comes to the P320, there's so many people saying, my gun doesn't do it. I understand how the sear and the striker work and all this. Like, all of a sudden, you're a gun engineer. Now, I'm not saying you can't have an opinion or you can't be informed and know the names of gun parts. And I'm not saying I'm an expert in anything. And that's why in my videos, I said, I am not doing anything scientific. We're just having a discussion here to learn, see what happens. That's it. And so many people just think, I'm an expert. Well, not me, but themselves. And so I think people just need to chill. You need to realize that just because you watched a YouTube channel and it's hosted by somebody that maybe you respect and like, doesn't mean that you're now an expert on tactical warfare or, or whatever it is, It doesn't mean you're an expert shot. It doesn't mean now you know everything about the engineering of guns. It doesn't mean, though, I should say, you're free to speak on it, and I want you to speak on it. I want you to share your opinions and your thoughts and what you think could be happening. But don't think you're an expert. I don't think that I'm an expert. I've watched a lot of videos on the P320 and heard people talk about the different types of sear engagements and the hooks. And I'm learning myself, and I don't claim to know anything about it. I'm just like, hey, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm experiencing. What do you guys think? That's all it is. And so I think the gun world needs more mature people. And I'm coming today to challenge you to be more mature. Now, I'm not saying that you're immature, and I'm not speaking to everybody. As I've mentioned, I've had some great dialogue and great conversations with a lot of people in the comments the past couple of days. It's been awesome. But ask yourself, as you not only represent yourself, but the gun community as a whole, as you comment not only on my videos, but other people's videos, or wherever you are, or if you're talking to people in person, try to realize that this is not a debate, more specifically the P320, that we all need to get emotional over. We don't need to hate each other. We don't need to assume the worst of each other and claim they're being paid by anybody. We don't need to go, well, just because their gun doesn't, mine doesn't, they must be doing it in front of a green screen. Why? What's the motivation of that? Why don't we just go, wow, their experiences are different than mine? I'm a mature adult human being that can realize that other people can see things differently and experience different things and have different things happen to them. I am completely aware and cognizant of that. And I think you should be too. The other thing is, stop being an expert on everything. Now, you can be extremely knowledgeable on things, but just because you saw a video by Gray Guns doesn't mean that now you're an expert on the P320. Just be like, hey, I saw this video and this is what I learned from it. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Let's just be mature adults about this. And I'm asking people not to come to my channel and not to go to other people's channel with animosity, hatred, vitriol, and angst, and an adversarial temperament, and just stir things up. We're all on the same side here. I know if you are a P320 lover, you probably want to get to the bottom of this and you want to defend the SIG. So let people do their tests. Let them figure out what's going on. If you hate the P320, well, understand that there are people that have brand loyalty and just like SIGs. Maybe they like the way they look, or the P320 is something very special to them. And to be able to put yourself in those shoes. So that's all I got for you tonight. It's just another video of me wanting to say, hey, let's just be nice to each other. That's it. Let's be mature, rational human beings that are just nice to each other. But anyway, I have to get going because I have to get downstairs and get ready to play. And I think, yeah, we got some storms rolling in. So I have to go play trombone for a few hours and make some money because guns don't buy themselves. So if you watch to the end of this video, obviously the word of the day is going to be gig, because I have a gig and I'm at a gig in Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, I drove up here today, 5-hour drive, but it was actually pretty nice. So let me know if you have any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.